I'm
All
telling you
right,
that
you want to get into
that dude was in Beach Street. He was in Beach Street. I'm gonna screenshot it and send it to you later.
okay. All right, you want to get into our main event?
Let's do it.
All right, so let's
With
get into our
it.
main event. Our main event tonight is summer movies. Basically, these are movies that take place during the summertime. We figured since it's summertime, dog days are here, school is just starting, but for most of us, it's still summer. So we wanted to do something to end the summer season off and give you 5 movies that are our favorites that take place during summertime. Um, I went first last time, so why don't you kick us off?
All right, I'll do that. All right, now just a little disclaimer, people. This isn't. I don't think this is my definitive list of movies that are summer themed, take place during the summer, but this is kind of more so like a nostalgia based list. So I'll start it off. My number 5, simple and plain, get right into it, is going to be The Sandlot. Definitely a nostalgia trip, and The Sandlot is just I'm not really a super big baseball fan. I can't sit through a full game, like unless that's the only thing on, maybe if the Phillies are in the playoffs or some shit like that. But The Sandlot is the movie, like as a kid, that made me want to possibly get into playing baseball. I know I would probably would be terrible at it, but The Sandlot is also one of those movies that it was back when, like, it had mature themes to it, especially the Wendy Peppercorn shit that people look at way differently now. But bro, they look at that shit now, and it's like you got them YouTube videos that are like, was this appropriate for 1990? Check it out here. Wendy Peppercorn was statutory raping everybody. I'm like, bro, like it was, but for the most part, it was a movie that came out around a time when they were letting kids be kids. Especially the kids, their age bracket, like Smalls and Ham and all of them,
They're
were
all over
doing
the
what
place.
exactly. They were all over the place. They were at the Sandlot. They were at the pool. They were at the convenience store. They even gave you that TV show. Oh shit, something happened. We got to figure out a way to do it before my dad finds out, type of thing. That's straight out of a TV show, but they put it in a movie. And all of these characters, for the most part, I'd say 98% of these characters are characters that you remember. Smalls is the fish out of water. Benny, I thought Benny was one of the coolest fucking kid characters I've ever seen. And then when he got them PF flyers at the end, I really thought them shits made you run faster as a kid. I believed it. Then, like you said, kids all over the place doing what they do. When they went to the amusement park, I'm like, that's a nostalgic classic moment where they played tequila. And now that part I disagree with, because I don't know any kids that were their age or my age at the time that were chewing fucking tobacco. That was just, I wasn't doing that. I wouldn't. It was no way that I was doing that shit.
You think where they're from and where they're at, that's a little bit more common. I mean, for us, we just smoked cigarettes, but they were from the South.
Listen, I don't even know if I should be saying this on our live, but I feel like if Chamber Grams pulled out a fucking bong during our stream, then I should be safe saying this. But I didn't really smoke my first L until I was 12, and I didn't even inhale at the time. But like them cigarettes, I couldn't stand them. But then ended up wasting like 6 years of my life smoking those. So that's a whole different story for a different time. But the Sandlot is just nostalgic. The third act is amazing, where Benny runs through the entire, like, Benny runs in like a circle, but he runs through the entire fucking town from this dog. And the dog, they hype the dog up to be this monster. That's another thing. Like, they're letting the kids be kids in the way that they talk about this dog. It's not a small dog, but the way they're talking about it, like it's a bedtime campfire story, the beast. And when they're talking about it, they're doing more shit that kids do. They're in a treehouse roasting s'mores and shit like that. But The Sandlot is just one of those summer movies that, like, even if it's not the summer season, you can still put it on and feel like summer. Like, it's one of those feel-good movies. Yeah, it's just one of those feel-good movies for me. So and all the kids were cool, man. Even the most annoying kids, like Timmy and Tommy. What was it, Timmy and Tommy? Whatever. The one whose brother kept repeating what he said. You even remember
Yeah,
them.
Timmy.
And then at the end, they give you, Timmy and Tommy went on to move such and such. And, they ended up getting married to this woman and that woman. Then it's like Squints went on to marry Wendy. Again, this is some shit that you look at differently because Squints married Wendy Peppercorn. And there was like a fucking 36-year age gap between all of them.
Oh.
And I never knew that was Marley Shelton.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. What the fuck? Marley Shelton was Wendy?
I didn't know until a couple years ago that was her playing Wendy Peppercorn.
Didn't know that till like right now.
And Dennis Leary played like a realistic stepfather that he didn't mean any harm, but Smalls knew that he didn't take no shit. So Smalls was always kind of scared to ask him to even do something as small as play catch with him and shit like that. Karen Allen was great as the mom, man. She's great in everything she's in.
Yeah.
And it's funny because Karen Allen and Will Orniff, the dude that was like throwing insults at Ham, Karen Allen and him were in Ghost in the Machine. That's the boy that played her son in Ghost in the Machine. So that's
no shit.
Will Orniff, man. Will Orniff. Good old Willie.
Oh, yep, there he is, right there.
He's in this slasher movie called Dead Tone. That's another one you got to see, yo. You got to do like a double feature, a Dead Tone and Venom, back to back. Hilarious, yo.
Dead Tone. Is this like fucking phone booth? No.
Not quite. Not actually. No. As far as like, no, it's not. It's just it's more so prank call gone wrong type of shit.
Rutger Hauer's in this movie? What the fuck?
Yes. Rutger Hauer is the detective that's trying to solve the crime because he's like, this happened the same way it happened 10 years ago when I investigated the crime. And the chief is like, all right, like, sit the fuck down, bro. I don't want you on this case. And then he goes on the case anyway.
You know what this movie reminds me of? Just by reading the synopsis and hearing you talk about it, reminds me of motherfucking My Soul to Take.
Ooh, please, don't you ever. I know you never saw Dead Tone, but My Soul to Take is brutal. It's hard to believe that. Rest in peace, shout out to the late great. But My Soul to Take is awful.
Oh my god.
Dead Tone is not. Yeah, Dead Tone is not. It is what you want. It reminds me of some slasher shit that I might have written when I was like in my late teens, early 20s, where these kids literally, well, they're college kids, but they literally saddle up in an SUV, go to this party at a big ass mansion, they have sex, they get high, they get drunk, that killer shows up and gets busy, literally from the door. The first girl that, when he gets there, she opens up the door thinking it's the pizza delivery guy, he cuts her fucking head right off. And he goes right to town on everybody else that's in there one by one. He gets busy, but the movie's cheesy as fuck, but it's one of my favorite slasher movies of all time.
So the guy that directed this, I thought I recognized him, it's the same fucking guy from Three Strikes and Fat Beach.
He co-directed. Brian Hooks co-directed that with Deon Taylor. Deon Taylor did Brian Hooks is actually in the movie. He directed it, and he plays Marcus. He's one of the main characters who he's kind of the reason behind why the killer kills like 12 years ago and why the killer kills in present day. So his character is a moron. Like, he's funny, but his character is an asshole. Like, why would you do this? Why would you play this game again? But I'm telling you,
this motherfucker also directed Chain Letter. That's great.
Same guy. Chain Letter, Black and Blue, Traffic.
And The Intruder?
The Intruder. He did Fear, the joint with T.I. and all them other people, and Tommy from...
with Tommy, Meet the Blacks.
That movie. He did both Meet the Blacks movies. Yeah, like Deon Taylor, he's such a... Like, I love his motivation as a director, but some Johns just, like, really missed the mark. But Dead Tone, is being as though it was his first horror movie, as cheesy as it is, it's his best horror movie. It's better than Chain Letter, it's better than Fear.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I thought Brian bro, and that's all I need to see is like, oh shit.
He said, I don't know, man. I'm trying to think of which one you would enjoy more out of that and Venom. I think the kills in Dead Tone are probably more brutal, but Venom is the more unique slasher. But that one just is such a fucking missed opportunity.
All right, all right. Okay, so
What's your number 5, sir?
my number 5 is a movie directed by Ben Wheatley called Sightseers. It's a Irish movie about an Irish couple, both on totally different ends of their life. The woman wants to kill herself because she doesn't feel worthy enough, and the man is a serial killer
Damn.
in training. And they get together, and they don't know this shit about each other. And they go on this cross-country holiday across the Irish countryside, and they end up killing people, and they enjoy it, and the girl just enjoys it a little bit more, and then leads to this crazy ass, depressing fucking ending. But it actually has like a really great dynamic between the relationship between the two. It's really good, and that ending you feel for them, but then you're like, man, that's the only way this movie could have ended. Sightseers. It's independent movie that came out 2010, 2011. It's funny, it's dark, it's bleak, and you know it has something to say about relationships in a realistic way. So,
This
so if you like movies like In Bruges, Kill List, Three Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri, and Seven Psychopaths, this is the movie for you.
I think Kill List was another one you told me to check out, but I've never seen this one. I'm looking it up now. They look like they're in love though. What goes wrong?
Oh no, and
What the
they
fuck?
just meet, and it's similar to like Eric and Shelley, like how they
I
meet.
knew you was about to say this.
But the difference is that they're actually well written.
I
So there's this,
knew.
there's something there. So but yeah,
So they just met. Their love is more real than fucking than
yeah,
Eric and Shelley.
it's because of the actions that they take, and then the trust that they have to go that she has, because he's gonna kill her, but then falls in love with her, and then it's just like, oh shit, and then you're just wondering like, is he gonna do it or not?
Edgar Wright produced this.
Yeah,
Oh, that's the dude. Ben Wheatley did the first Meg movie. He did. Was it the second one? He did one of those two Meg movies for
he
sure.
did the second one.
Oh shit! Humble Beginnings, yo. Yeah, I'll put it on. And just cause it's him, and I want to see his Humble Beginnings. But I like the way the trailer looks. Like it looks like something about these. And I
It's a
don't make it
rom
sound like
com.
yeah that. But I don't want to sound like a snob, especially because I was the one saying like nothing about independent films. But I was like, yeah, I don't like these art house looking films. But the more I watch these independent films that are at the film festivals, the more I have an appreciation for movies like this, bro. Like I don't know what it is. I've got a whole list of movies like this, the film festival, Sundance, and shit like that. I got a whole list of movies like this. Sightseers.
So I want to make a correction. Ben Wheatley didn't do In Bruges or Three Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri. Just wanted to clear that up. He did do a segment for ABC's of Death. Did do Kill List, Free Fire with Brie Larson and Armie Hammer, and the Tom Hiddleston movie High Rise, which was the
God,
Netflix #1 movie for like a couple years, especially during lockdown.
this kill. I almost got Kill List confused with Kill Shot. Yeah, Ben Wheatley's got looks like he's got some shit under his belt, man. You always got
Yeah,
these
Sightseers.
exclusive ass movies that I never heard of. It's always some exclusive shit.
I'm always trying to keep you on your toes, bro.
Yeah, I see. And then I always end up marking this shit down on the board every episode we do.
Well, once you watch that trailer with the actual audio and the song they use with "Tainted Love,"
By Slum
it's
Village?
yeah. No, the no the oh my god, I forgot who did it. The '80s song.
Oh, I was about to say, how the fuck did they fit Slum Village into the mix?
Soft Cell. Run away, I got to. Yeah, that song. What's the matter? What's the matter, boy? What's the matter? Hmm? Hmm? All right, so that's my number 5. What's your number 4?
My number 4. Now, I remember you put a teeny bit of emphasis on this last Tuesday, and you were like, "Yo, we don't have to do all horror movies. We don't have to do all horror movies. We can do any genre." I was like, "All right, bet." So I'm not going to put all horror movies, but I had to make sure this is the only horror movie I have on the list, and I was going to go cliche. Um, takes place during the summer horror movie. I could have done that, but I decided not to. I decided to go against the grain a little bit. So my number 4 is going to be I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, and I don't give a fuck. I don't give a shit. It was going to be Friday the 13th, but I said nope. I think I enjoy, as far as a summer slasher, I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. There's a reason that they announced that this movie is canon in the new Legacy sequel, because it's hard to ignore. Now, I know a lot of people hated this one, but I love this movie because I didn't have to jump through hoops and, look under rocks for clues. And is that Ben Willis or who's Billy Blue? We got to go see Anne Heche to figure it out. We had to do all that shit. Ben Willis is got a hook for a hand because his shit flew off. He going to Tower Bay Island by any means necessary. He's about to go over there and get busy and start slashing tits and ass all over Tower Bay Island, straight to the point. No Scooby-Doo mystery shit to uncover. I mean, they did have that plot twist with Will Benson and all of that shit, but for the most part, straightforward slasher. One of the greatest kills that I never saw coming with Mekhi Phifer's death scene. And I'm just thinking, like, imagine how fucked up it would be on either end. Like, if you weren't the killer's son, and your Will just, I know she's got a boyfriend, but I'm just trying to romance her because she's got trouble in paradise, or imagine you're Mekhi Phifer, and it's like, yo, man, I'm just going on this trip with my girl and 2 other people, and I'm just trying to get some ass and, keep the spark going, and then everything just goes to shit because the slasher is on the island and y'all can't even get home. The communications is down. It's no radio. The entire staff has been killed. That's one of the shittiest summer vacations ever. And Ben Willis gets so like Ben Willis. I don't know what his body count is in this movie, man. But when he gets to Tower Bay Island, he literally kills everybody. He kills Bill. Bill Cobbs is in this. Bill Cobbs plays Estes. He kills Bill Cobbs. He plays
Jack Black.
Jack Black. What's the reanimator's name? Jeffrey Combs?
Yeah.
Is it Jeffrey Combs?
Yeah, Jeffrey Combs.
Yeah, Jeffrey Combs. Motherfucker kills Jennifer Esposito. Why? I don't know. Why would you even lay a finger on Jennifer Esposito? But
John Hawkes.
And then who else?
John Hawkes, Dave, the pawn shop owner, Mark Boone Jr.
Mark Boone Jr. is in that movie?
Yeah, he's the pawn shop owner.
Oh, he's the guy that Ray gets a gun from him. He's like, boy, you sure you want to go? Mark Boone Jr. lives in that. That's the only scene he's in. That's the one horror movie he survived. Because he gives Ray the gun. He's like, you sure you want to go this route, boy? He's got the fucking cigarette hanging out of his mouth and shit.
Yeah.
And Ray, that, like, Julie must have really put that poom on him something crazy, because this motherfucker was in a little boat, like, going in a storm, going after Ben Willis to save Julie's ass. Like literally, he's like, that ass is too serious for me to let it get slaughtered by Ben Willis. And Ray was doing his thing in that movie, and Brandy survives. Like one of the two final girls, the black girl survives, and Brandy literally fell through every glass surface on Tower Bay Island. She fell through a glass. She fell through a glass attic window.
She damn near pulled that Catwoman, bro, from Batman Returns, where she just literally fucking hits everything on the way down.
Yeah. And she fell through the greenhouse glass and shit. She like when Ben Willis thought he did the kill shot after he killed Jennifer Esposito and Bill Cobbs at the same time. He swipes at her and she falls through a glass wall. And you think she's dead, but and this is why Brandy was like, Brandy said that she expressed an interest to come back. And she's like, yo, they didn't call me. Like, I want to come back for it. Yeah, bring her back.
Yeah.
Even if you got to kill her
I'm all for that. I'm actually looking forward to that one movie she's going to be in later this year. The First Room or whatever.
What'd you say? Oh, yeah. That A24 shit. Yes.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that shit, bro. Because I want to see her in more movies. I think she'd be good. I think she's good.
Yeah, that A24 shit that she's in, the woman that's in there reminds me of the mom from Mother's Day, the original Mother's Day. The lady with the neck brace.
Let's see. From 1984? 1989.
Mother's Day?
Or 1980s. 1980s. Yeah.
The 80, I think it was 1980 or 81, the mom from Mother's Day with the neck brace on. That's who that lady in the front room reminds me of.
Trina is the mother's name. Oh, and this is a trauma film. Go fucking figure.
Of course.
Okay, so your number 4 is I Still Know What You Did Last Summer?
It is.
Okay. Okay, I had to switch this up because I don't hear a whole lot of people talking about this movie, and I want to give it a shout out. And it's directed by the same guy that did The Wood. I want to shout out to Dope, the movie Dope.
Ooh, I wanted to put that on my list so bad. Oh, I love that movie, man. That's a good pick, bro. Yeah. I love that movie. That movie's amazing, yo. That's a good one. Damn. That never ceased to amaze me, man.
What's that dude's name? I was like really surprised like how well this movie was. And I was just like, damn, this movie is funny, it's heartfelt. They actually had the 90s aesthetic down to a T. They understood 90s music.
Yes.
And they actually knew how to use 90s music in it. Megan Good had like a really funny ass scene. Tyga was kind of hilarious as the gangster. Yeah, definitely. No, it was Zoe Kravitz. I think that's what it was.
Zoe Kravitz. Yeah. Zoe Kravitz.
Yeah, it was Zoe Kravitz. That was tripping, right? In the gown in the house and shit like that.
Damn, that was a great fucking pick, yo. Cause I saw this movie once, 2 years ago. I saw it once, and I was like, "What the fuck took me so long?" Man, this shit is one of the best coming of age summer movies ever, yo. It's great. It's so good.
Yeah, it has a great cast. It is funny as
I'm looking at
hell. There's a really great callback to The Wood with Stacy as a security guard.
Stacy. So was that ever confirmed that Stacy from Dope is Stacy from The Wood?
Yeah, they confirmed that. That was really him. The director said, "Yeah, that was Stacy. That was."
That is genius, yo. Because I got excited when he was like, "Yo, tell him to ask about Stacy," when they were trying to take his shoes of Lakeith Stanfield and them, and I was like, I said, "Is he playing the same fucking character?" That is so genius, yo.
Yeah, man. like there's a really good cast here, bro.
Yes,
Tyga,
it is.
Kimberly Elise, Quincy Brown, Chanel Amon, Vince Staples, um,
Oh yeah,
Rick Fox.
Vince Staples was like
I think Joseph as the DJ, as the radio DJ.
ASAP Rocky, like he was so pissed at Vince Staples. He's like, you know what a slippery slope is? He's like, do it got anything to do with skiing? That's when I knew, like, I was like, Vince Staples is not bad. Like you could give him a bit role, he's going to show up for it,
Yeah,
man.
he's
Like,
gonna
and I
steal
feel
the
like
scene.
it's one of the reasons why why his show's getting a season 2.
I
Oh
did
shit,
not
I
like
forgot.
the season finale because I felt like that was way too dark to end that series. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that shit was wild.
Like,
That
what?
shit, that shit
That
was
was
wild.
such a fucking tonal shift, dude. I'm like, wow, this is dark.
Rest in peace to Ricky Harris, man. I forgot he was in here.
Shamik Moore, as our lead. Miles Morales at Humble Beginnings, man, slinging dope and
He,
hanging out with his
he's really
friends.
good. He's really good in that movie too,
Yeah,
man. I like him just being that awkward geek who kind of really doesn't give a fuck to fit in. Like sometimes he might try, but for the most part, he leans into what he's about. Him and his two homies. And Kiersey Clemens, like this is probably like the most tomboy butch role that she's ever done, and she's great in this shit too.
yeah.
Yeah, God damn, that was a good pick, bro. I love this movie, man. Diddy's son was in this shit. I was like, that's a little weird casting, but I guess
Lakeith
if that's what you want to do.
Stanfield, Blake Anderson, ASAP Rocky. Yeah, man.
Yeah, like,
Like, this movie was funny, it was heartfelt, and I was really surprised of like how funny and how well made this movie was. I was like, God damn, like, all right, let's fucking go, man. And I'm sure this is the same guy that did the fucking Wood. Like, I'm pretty
yeah,
sure that's the same guy.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, same dude.
yeah.
Rick Famuyiwa, yeah, whatever. Pretty sure
Tell me you
I
would.
said his name right. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
same guy.
yeah. So yeah, I enjoyed Dope. I thought it was a fun movie. Great summer movie, and again,
Yes.
like, really understood how to use the '90s aesthetic in a modern setting, and not really overdo it, and just kind of know how to use it. So I really did enjoy it.
He also did Brown Sugar. I never knew that. With Tate Diggs and Sanaa Lathan, I did not know that. He's got a thing for, you know how you was talking about like the use of hip hop and dope. He did the same thing with Brown Sugar, like even down to casting Mos Def as one of the like a reoccurring character in Brown. You never seen Brown Sugar?
No, I never saw Brown Sugar.
It's a it's a pretty solid rom com. I'm not gonna lie, but Mos Def being like one of the main characters of the movie is so fucking thorough, yo. He's just a cab driver. It's almost like he raps for a living, but he does cab driving for as a 9 to 5. But you could tell he's not really into it. But Tate Diggs wants to be his manager. He's like, yo, man, I think you really fire. And Tate Diggs or Mos Def is just like, yeah, man, I see what y'all do over at y'all. He's an artist who has integrity, so he's like, I see what y'all doing over at y'all, at y'all label. I'm way too advanced for the shit that y'all doing over there. Like y'all manage them whack ass artists. I'm gonna do my shit independently from the ground up. Like he's basically playing himself in real life, but it's solid enough. It's just kind of cliche where they do the whole "I've been best friends with you for years and I never knew I was in love with you" type of
Like
thing.
Love
Even
and
though we both got
Basketball.
somebody, yeah, even though we both got somebody, but oh my god, I never knew I was in love with you until I was about to get married. That shit is overdone, but it's a decent movie. He
I
did
know
an
the
episode. He did six
soundtrack was.
episodes of Mandalorian.
I know the soundtrack was fire because I remember back in the day that soundtrack was everywhere.
Fire. This dude did the Mandalorian and Ahsoka. Aha. Whatever that Star Wars shit is. Oh, he's the director of the. I forgot the Wood had a TV series coming out.
What?
I'm not gonna say nothing. I ain't even gonna say nothing. Now I think they were trying to find. I think it's done, or at least the pilot. But I think they're trying to shop it around and find a network because they announced this a couple years back. And I was kind of talking shit, but now that Bel Air is popping, I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm just gonna watch it. I'm not gonna even judge it. Not gonna do it.
Whoa,
Yeah, it's a TV
whoa,
series dealing
whoa!
with.
What the fuck? So Melvin Gregg's in here, Kamala Jones, Vince Staples. You got Richard T. Jones reprising his role as Slim.
Yep, the the psychic chick from Jeepers Creepers, Patricia Belcher. It
Salma
says
Hayek.
pre-production though.
This says
So that
2022,
does it?
and this is a Showtime pilot.
Shit, man. Maybe they just shelved it. God
No, this is the
damn.
first episode aired January 1st, 2022.
What? That shit probably gained no traction at all.
Yeah, they got it didn't even get past the pilot stage.
God damn. Oh, that's awful. Well, well, see you later.
Yeah,
That was a big gulps moment right there. Damn, man. I was looking forward to it just now.
yeah, it
Shit.
didn't even get past the pilot. It didn't get picked up.
Even Homeboys from Outer Space got past the pilot. God damn. That's rough.
Here we go. Here we go. The Woods series based on the film not moving forward at Showtime.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, this it's not. Yeah, didn't happen. Got canceled. All right. So what's your number three?
My number three, it's another movie, Crazy Nostalgia. I had to actually go online and make sure because there is a sequence in here where I was like, wait, this is more of a Thanksgiving November type of movie. But then I was like, no, they're at summer camp doing this shit. My number three is Addams Family Values. This is one of those movies that kinda almost maybe sort of tiptoes on the whole, is this better than the first one for me? I don't know yet. I need to watch them both back to back. Like this shit in the Brady Bunch movies, I go back to back with. As far as which one is funnier. But Addams Family Values, Joan Cusack alone is worth the price of admission in this movie, man.
She's great.
She is amazing in this movie, yo. And like to steal the show from people like Raul Julia and
Angelica Houston.
Angelica Houston and Christopher Lloyd, like she is keeping up with them every single scene she's in. But the summer camp shit is just gold, bro. Wednesday and Pugsley, like I'm not even gonna say Pugsley has more fun than Wednesday at camp, but when they get to camp, bro, it's Wednesday is automatically having the worst days of her entire life, yo. And this shit is so hilarious. The two counselors are the guy from Ghostbusters 2, Janosch,
Yeah.
and that chick Colleen, what's her name, Colleen Camp. They are just like they're two Goosebumps characters, like Welcome to Camp Jelly Jam, where they're just like smiling and their eyes are big and they're like 24/7. They're just so happy, and the fact that they try to get Wednesday and Pugsley to just be on that type time is fucking hilarious. You got the girl from I want to say the girl from, is that Kate? Let me look it up because I want to say that's Katie Cassidy.
No,
The chick
Mercedes
that was
McNabb.
in, is that her?
Yeah,
They look just alike. They
they
were
do.
separated at birth or something.
They do.
You're talking about the main girl, right? That's kind of like
Yeah,
the
the main
bitchy
mean
girl.
girl, Amanda. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I always thought that was Katie Cassidy in that movie. She looks just like her. Yeah, man. But like Wednesday is just Wednesday reminds me like when she's at camp, she reminds me of when I asked my daughter recently, was she excited to start going to a new school? And she's just like, nah, because these kids be trying me, Dad. Like she just not for the bullshit at all. And then you got the dude who was in Ice Storm and Superbad and shit like that. Him having a crush on Wednesday, and Wednesday even caves in at some point where they're sitting in front of the lake. Like she's just giving him the cold shoulder the whole time, but they're sitting in front of the lake at one point. And he's like, you know what happens if I don't know if he said a bee sting or something. He said if he gets too much of something, he's like, you know what happens? I die. And then she kind of like scoots over next to him and she starts to like him. I'm like, this shit is morbid, but it's comedic genius. And the fact that this is another case of a chick putting the poontang on somebody so good, like Uncle Fester left his fucking family behind. She put that ass on him so good. And then you got the baby in the mix. And I'm glad that they didn't skip over that. But one of the things that I thought they were going to follow through with it was the end of Addams Family. She knits like a onesie and it's multiple legs at the bottom of it. And I thought the baby was going to come out with multiple legs.
Like a
but
fucking
I guess they couldn't afford it. Yeah, like a fucking spider. But I guess they couldn't afford it. But the whole camp sequence, the fact that these kids just go straight rebellion and burn that fucking camp to the ground, that's one of the best scenes in like any movie ever. Because the adults are just kind of looking like they were reading the script at one point in time, like, what the fuck is going on? And then the chick's scared and she's like, Gary, she's not reading from the script, or Gary, she's changing the words. And then at some point, they've got both the counselors like slow roasting, like right underneath a campfire. Like that shit, yo, that movie is outrageous. That movie is like side splitting fucking funny. And I'm mad that like Raul Julia died because I always wanted them to make a part 3, like just to cap it off. I think they made a like a straight to TV movie, but I always wanted a part 3 of the Addams Family. But as far as like a summer movie, like once they get to that summer camp, the movie just gets better and better each scene. So Addams Family Values, one of the best movies based off of a TV show.
I'm gonna have to agree. Addams Family Values is great, but I will say the sequel has something that the original doesn't, and that's a song by MC Hammer. So, you know.
MC Hammer's on the first soundtrack.
Was it the first one or the second one?
He's all over the first one.
I'm gonna have to double check.
I don't think
that because I'm pretty sure I remember him more from the second one.
He was on the first one because I remember I had this VHS tape. They actually still got the documentary on YouTube somewhere, but I had this VHS tape. It was like Addams Family Back in the Groove or something like that, and it was the whole soundtrack process, it was the video shoot of MC Hammer and all his dances. They were doing like the Addams, what was it, the Addams Groove or some shit like that?
The Addams Groove.
So they were showing how they made MC Hammer's head get cut off with the guillotine and bounce around and rap. It was a whole behind the scenes thing that I had on this VHS tape back in the day. So he's actually, when Cousin It pulls up to the party in the first movie, he's listening to MC Hammer. He's listening to MC Hammer. And MC Hammer is playing in the scene where the Addams Family are in the car and Uncle Fester's like struggling with the Chinese finger trap, and he's like, how do you take it off? And then Wednesday's kind of looking at him like, yeah, you ain't Uncle Fester, motherfucker. But yeah, MC Hammer was on. He was on the first movie soundtrack.
Yeah, you're right. Because I'm looking at that right now. You're right. Hold on a second.
Yeah, I called her Colleen Camp.
All right.
I got her motherfucking name all wrong. Her name is Christine Baranski. I called her Colleen Camp.
I thought that was her name. Colleen Camp, like her character's name, not her actual name.
She looked like, no, I called her a whole other actress. Colleen Camp, I think, is she's the chick from Wayne's World. When the dude's like, and may I say your wife's a babe, and she kind of looks at him, that's Colleen Camp, I think. Let me look it up so I'm not naming two fucking wrong actresses here. Yeah, Colleen Camp was the chick from Wayne's World. He said, I thought that was her name. Damn. All fucking wrong.
All right. My number three is a movie called The Whackness. It's about this kid Josh Shapiro and his psychiatrist that's played by Sir Ben Kingsley slinging dope in New York in 1994 while listening to Notorious B.I.G. the whole entire time. And this kid, this is actually a really good, funny coming of age story. And it's about heartbreak. And it's about how to deal with it. It's about growing up. It's about taking responsibility. The soundtrack to this fucking movie is insane, and the fact that they got the rights to all these songs is crazy. The World Is Yours, Can't You See, The What, Summertime, Walking on the Wild Side. The fucking soundtrack to this movie is completely bonkers and ridiculous, man. I cannot believe they can afford all these songs. And
is this the motherfucker Drake and Josh?
Yeah. This was his first movie breaking away from that.
This cast is like
right?
that.
Right? Method Man, Famke Janssen, Ben Kingsley,
Jane Addams,
Mary Kay Olsen. Or is it Ashley?
It's Mary Kate.
Mary Kay. Yes.
Jane Addams, she was in an episode of Atlanta. Aaron Yu, he was in Friday the 13th and Disturbia. The Whackness. Yeah, they probably had to drop some bread to clear those songs to be played. If you're saying there's so many songs like that.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. The movie opens up with "The World Is Yours." It's like, what? Yeah.
Yeah, let me put. I just put that on the list.
This is a really fun movie, dude. A very awkward, unique friendship between the psychiatrist and his patient. They become more friends than doctor patient. So it's really fun to see that relationship evolve. And Ben Kingsley has the funniest line toward the end of the movie. It's fucking hilarious. I won't spoil it just in case you see it. Ben Kingsley, I didn't know Ben Kingsley was like that, but he is funny as fuck, dude. He is hilarious. He's so good in this movie.
Is he on the front cover? Is he pushing? It's
an ice truck.
Fresh and delicious ices is what it says.
Yeah, so his cover is that he's slinging ice, like slushies, but he's really just slinging weed.
That's no different from Mr. Softy around here. I'm pretty sure they're peddling drugs. I'm almost sure of it, man. There's no way. That's Vice City Tommy Vercetti shit that they do around here. Pretty accurate. Jonathan Levine. What's this guy? Let me look and see. Sounds familiar.
All the boys.
Oh God.
He did your favorite movie, Warm Bodies.
Oh, that's the first movie I saw in his when I clicked on it was Warm Bodies.
Did a long
I don't
shot.
know. I don't know, man. He did Warm Bodies. I don't know about this one.
I don't know. Like, I would recommend All the Boys Love Mandy Lane and The Whackness because I think those are his two best movies. Those are his two best movies that he's done. The Night Before is garbage. Long Shot is I just hate Seth Rogen, so I will never give anything to Seth Rogen a fair shot.
He did The Night Before? Yo, I love The Night Before. I didn't know he did that movie. I did not know he did that movie.
Yeah, he did that one. I didn't care for it as much. I didn't think it was that great.
All the Boys Love Mandy Lane. I think I started watching it. Hold on. I think I started watching that, and they're at like some cabin or some house or some shit like that. People just start popping up dead. was Amber Heard. She did it. She's the killer at the end. I'm already calling it. Oh God, he did Dirty Dancing too.
Did he?
Oh,
It's not on here.
it's in development.
Oh God.
Jennifer Grey's coming back for it. It says plot kept under wraps, but it's like we know what the fuck it's about. It's about more motherfuckers dancing. Fuck.
More motherfuckers dancing, right?
Yeah, like,
Oh shit.
what's the surprise?
Yeah. So that's my number 3. The Whackness. That's a really fun movie. I recommend it.
Yeah, I got it on my. I just put it on the list, so now I got. God damn it, I got 3 fucking movies that you have recommended on my list now. So there's that. I got La Bamba, Sightseers, and The Whackness.
Yeah,
I feel like The
I can't
Whackness.
wait to hit you with number 2, bro. Because I don't think you're gonna remember my number 2, but maybe it might pop up. We'll see.
My number 2. I'm not. I should have looked this up before we did the episode, man, because I go back and forth with, is this a summer movie? Is it an end of the summer movie? Is it? But I want to say it's a summer movie. It's another nostalgic trip. My number 2 is The Goonies, and
Yeah,
I'm
that
trying
counts.
to.
That counts.
Okay, so because I was like, wait, like I remember Corey Feldman saying, "Yo, guys, it's our last Goonie weekend together." So I'm like, does this shit take place in the fall, like when school's about to start? But I guess it's a summer movie. But The Goonies, if I never get a part 2, I've got this movie. This is probably, I know everybody loves the Lethal Weapon movies and they love the Superman movies, at least the first 2 or some shit. But this is Richard Donner probably, let me not speak too soon, let me pull up IMDb again. But as far as I'm concerned, before I look up the rest of his shit, this is Richard Donner's best movie for me. God rest his soul, but The Goonies, I just feel like Richard Donner and Steven Spielberg, magical things happen when certain creative minds clash. Like it's almost like the adventurous kid version of when George Romero and Stephen King linked up for Creepshow or some shit like that. Like this is a movie. It's one of the most quotable movies of all time for me. Like there's a lot of Goonies references I might make as an adult that people still don't understand, and then I'm like, yo, like the Goonies, and they're like, yeah, I remember, but I don't know what you're talking about. The movie means a lot to me, and it's another one of those things where every single character stands out. They're written well. They have their moments to shine. They have their quotable lines. They're like, and I feel like one of the good things about the characters, while I'm rooting for these kids to find this buried treasure and make it out alive, they all have annoying kid moments. Like they're all equally annoying throughout the course of the movie. Mikey, Mouth, Chunk, Bran. I can't remember the girl's name. Andy and I don't remember Carrie Green. I don't remember the short-haired girl's name that Mouth had a crush on. But Mouth got the girl at the end of the movie, so that was a good part. Data's annoying as fuck because he's always got a contraption for something that's malfunctioning and shit like that. Even like this movie almost got tears out of me as a kid, man, because even Sloth. Recipe shout out to the actor that plays Sloth, but I'm like, when Chunk was like, yeah, Sloth, I'm going to take you home and you're going to come live with me, it's like, what do your parents say about that shit? Because I'm sure we're not going to get a sequel to the Goonies where Chunk and Sloth live together. It's not going to happen. So he was just talking shit, selling them a dream. But like this movie, it brings out the summertime. The moment they jump on those, when they wrap Bran up in like his little exercise bands, the metal exercise bands, the moment they jump on those bikes and Cyndi Lauper's Good Enough is playing, that's when the summer shit kicks in for me. It's not the beginning, it's not the end. It's the moment they get on those fucking bikes and that song is playing and there's like not quite a bird's eye view shot of them, but it's angled a certain way. And I'm just like, it makes me want to ride my bike every single time I watch it, even as an adult. And that's really when their adventure starts, because that's when they go and they hold that doubloon up to those to those pieces out in the distance, and that's when the shit hits the fan pretty much. But yeah, it's always going to be, as far as like adventure summer kid shit, it's going to be the Goonies. It's going to be the Goonies. That's one of the greatest adventures ever. I still want a part two. Do I need it? Kind of, sort of. Oh shit! I forgot. Richard Donner did the Toy and Scrooged. Fuck. And Radio Flyer.
And Scrooge.
God damn. And and I mean, I'm not a big fan of The Omen, but he did direct The Omen also.
Let's see what.
I mean, everybody
Lady
loves
Hawk,
The Omen. I mean, which
Assassin,
one?
a Lady Hawk.
I've never seen that.
But
And he was
actually, huh?
he was going to do Lethal Weapon 5 before he passed away. They announced it, and then
Yeah,
he
I think
died
Mel
after
Gibson
the
is
announcement.
doing it now.
Yeah, he is. Oh, he did 16 Blocks. I've never watched it. I've never seen it. It's on.
Such a good fucking movie, bro.
Yeah, I wanted to see it just because Mos Def is in it. I wanted to see it, and Bruce Willis too. But Mos Def is an underrated fucking actor.
Yeah, he is. I kind of wish he stuck with it. Because I think he'd be like a leading man. Like, honestly.
Yeah, he's super underrated, yo, as an actor. Let's see.
All right,
But that's my number two.
my number two is Summertime Switch,
Why does that sound so fucking
starring
familiar?
Ryder Smith and oh my god, what's his fucking name? It's an ABC TV movie starring Ryder Smith and Jason Weaver. It's about so Jason Weaver is from the hood. Ryder Smith is from the burbs. They both have the same last name, and they both get switched into different camps. Jason Weaver goes to the preppy camp, and Ryder Smith goes to the juvenile delinquent camp. And both camps are across the lake from each other. And it's basically trading places with teenagers. That's basically what it is. This movie is hilarious. It's funny, and there's a really good lesson for kids to know to like not take things for granted. And I think they both learned that lesson toward the end of the film, especially with
Punky Brewster's in there, shit.
Yeah.
Oh shit! This was what year was this?
94.
That was she was in this movie the same year she was in Pumpkinhead too. Patrick Renna's in here, so he was the it kid because he was Ham in the Sandlot.
Yeah.
Summertime Switch. Barry Williams, was he in the Brady Bunch?
Yes, he
That
was.
face. Okay, I knew it. Richard Mall R.I.P. Man, I didn't know Richard Mall was in here. I'm not even gonna lie, man. I like Jason Weaver's that boy for me. He's been around for so long, but Ryder Strong is where I'm like, all right, I might have to put this one down on the list too. Ryder Strong is an actor that I think people just don't appreciate enough. Ryder Strong, he brought the emotional shit to Boy Meets World.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he was solid in Cabin Fever. He was in the friend zone in Cabin Fever. I hated that shit for him, and he's in this movie, this underrated ass post-apocalyptic movie called Tooth and Nail.
That's an After Dark movie. Yeah.
Yo, that's one of, and I'm not saying it just because it takes place in Philly. Which one?
Borderland. It's about
Borderlands, like the new one?
No, it's another After Dark movie. It's about these three guys that go to Mexico for vacation, and they end up in the wrong side of Mexico, and they get tortured and fucked up by the cartels. Which is
that one. Crazy. I always had that on DVD, but I never watched it. I don't even have it on DVD anymore.
It's actually a solid movie. It's actually really good. I was very impressed with how good that movie was made. But going back to Summertime Switch, this is a TV movie
Mhm.
that aired in 1994 on a Friday night when they didn't have TGIF, so they had this, and Disney made this movie. Ryder Strong and Jason Weaver, both coming off of really big, strong starts with Lion King for Jason Weaver, and Ryder Strong as getting so much praise for his acting ability in Boy Meets World. And like I said, they both
Yeah.
have the same name. They go to different camps, and again, they both learn valuable lessons. At the end, and they become friends toward the end of the movie too. So it's really funny. It's well paced. I think you can find it on YouTube right now. Honestly, you can't find it on the Disney Plus streaming service, which sucks because it should be on there, in my opinion. Like the fact that
Oh, yep. Here
movie's
it is.
not on there is a fucking
The
crime.
full movie. Yeah, the full movie. I just found it on YouTube. I'm about to bookmark it now. Or not bookmark it, but save it to full movies. I'm mad that Jason Weaver's hat says Menace on the back of it. It's like, yeah, we got to make this kid the bad one for real.
Oh yeah, they got them all dressed up like Chris Cross throughout the movie.
That was the template for every black kid back in the day. It's like, well, how do we make them look the parts? Like, just put their fucking clothes on backwards,
Yup.
baggy and back. I don't know if this is the front cover or not, but they like the official front cover on YouTube. They both are like leaning, and they both got like their sweaters tied,
Yeah.
like like prep golf style.
Yeah. 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 But Ryder Strong is wearing the jumpsuit.
Yeah, there's a song Jason Weaver performs in this shit.
Yeah, he does like a little rap at the dance.
Jesus Christ, man! God damn it! Is it called That Girl? Because they got this shit on there too. If so,
I think so. 'Cause I think he's macking on one of the girls out there.
about to catch a whole Me Too case probably. Jesus, man. Yeah, I put it in the saved movies. Ryder Strong gets to play ball in this shit. Is he any good?
Yeah, he balls out. He balls out.
I like Ryder
Not
Strong
like
a
ball
lot.
not ball out like Jack Harlow and White Man Can't Jump where they edited around it. No, this dude actually has some skills.
I I ain't about to say nothing bad about the White Man Can't Jump remake because I was one of the few people where when it was over I was like, I, I kind of really like this. I kind of really, really, really it was entertaining. I
I know.
don't
I
know.
can't
That's
get
just
past the Jack Harlow thing, man. It's just like for me, I'm like, I don't know. To me, you're just like you're Little Dicky, but you're cooler. So
oh my god. He said it. I did not.
it's the truth. Even Little Dicky said it. Even he said it on his show. It's like, yeah, man, you're like me, but I'm like the cooler version of you.
Lil Dicky is from here too, man. Well, he's not really from here. He's from like fucking like Cheltenham Township or something. That's like when you go beyond the Philadelphia sign. I'm not too fucking sure. I'm not. It don't even matter. I'm not even really a big Lil Dicky fan, to be honest. I like that he is himself. He embraces his weirdness. I respect that.
Cheltenham Township, PA.
Yeah, yeah. That's like on the outskirts of the city. Like that's a whole nother. That's a whole nother thing right there.
All right, so what's your number one?
Ah, my number one. Um, I know when I said if it's a kids movie and it's an adventure movie, it's The Goonies. But this is like a kids movie, at least for me. But it's not an adventure movie. It's more like a. It's not really coming of age. It's more of like we got to just survive the summer. amongst each other type of thing. This is yeah, this is my personal favorite Spike Lee movie, and I know a lot of people out there are going to be like, well, it should be Malcolm X. No, it's not, because I love Malcolm X, but it's not relatable for me. But as far as growing up as a kid, this takes place in New York, but fuck it. My number one summertime movie is Crooklyn. This
Oh,
is this movie. This movie is relatable on almost too many levels. Now, like growing up, it was three of us in the house, and it was my grandparents' crib. But just the way that Alfre Woodard acts as a mom and Delroy Lindo acts as a father, it's like this movie hits home in so many different ways. Like I remember there's a moment in the movie where the mom gives stamps, like food stamps, to the main character, the main girl, the main sibling. What the fuck was her name, man? I know her real name is Zelda Harris. Troy. They call her Troy the boy. But she gives Troy, she's like, yeah, I need you to go give me some shit to make for dinner. And she's like, Mom, I don't want to go to the store with no food stamps. Like, I literally remember my grandma sending us to the store. Like, my dad's mom sending us to the store with, I didn't understand what stamps were. They were like paper stamps. And I just thought it was like exotic money back in the day. I didn't know what that shit meant. But going to the store with those, playing like stickball outside, they're like plucking, like the whole opening sequence is just like just gives me like nostalgic chills. They're playing People Make the World Go Round throughout the whole opening credit sequence, but they're showing different parts of the neighborhoods where kids are playing stickball. They're playing like the bottle caps. They're throwing tops on the ground. Like a boy and a girl, or they snuck off to make out, and everybody's like looking at them. And then when the credits are over, the dad gives them a roll call. He blows this horn, like this ivory tusk horn, and he calls all the kids in for dinner. The dinner table scenes are realistic because I was that there's a kid named oh my god, what is his name? Oh, I gotta look it up. But there's a kid, one of the siblings. Um, he's the one that doesn't really like to eat his food. Like there's a scene where they're eating at the table and he's like, I don't want to eat black eyed peas. I don't eat black eyed peas. And the mom tells him, you're going to sit there until you eat every black eyed pea on your plate. Like I was that kid. When my brother and sister would eat dinner and get to go outside and play, I was the one still sitting at the fucking table like 2 hours later. My shit's getting cold and I don't even want to eat it no more. That was me. What is his name? Not Walter. Is it Joseph? I don't know. I'll figure it out. But oh no, Nate. Nate was his name. But like everything from the interaction with the kids having to go to the store and having interactions with other kids, some of the kids being bullied. Spike Lee even does this thing in the movie where it looks a certain type of way when they're in Brooklyn, as they call it. It looks a certain type of way, but then there's a moment where they drive out to the suburbs to let the daughter stay with their aunt for a couple weeks. When they get to the suburbs out of their element, Spike Lee changes up the whole ratio of the movie. It looks completely different, and you could tell that he changed. Like everybody just looks a little stretched out and taller, and that was like a little camera trick that Spike Lee threw in there to let you know you're no longer in the safe zone. Well, it was a safe zone because nobody got hurt except the dog, but these motherfuckers are out of their element. They're away from their hood in a suburban area they know nothing about and don't even fit in. And he decided to make the entire picture ratio change up when they went out there. And I don't know how many people notice it. I don't know how many people care, but just little things like that Spike Lee does. Spike Lee does the classic, I'm going to put you on a platform and pull you towards the camera like you're floating.
yeah.
Like Spike Lee makes a cameo. He makes a cameo in this movie as a glue sniffer. You know, he's a fiend, and he's sniffing glue with this guy who's missing an arm, and they just keep having cameos throughout the movie. This shit is sad as fuck though, because Alfre Woodard gets sick, and that's when the movie just starts to take like the most emotional turn in here. David Patrick Kelly's in here, T-Bird from The Crow, but he plays their neighbor who's got a shit ton of dogs. Like we had a neighbor with a shit ton of dogs and their house stunk or some shit like that. Like this movie, it's like We gotta survive each other. Fuck the neighborhood. Like, we'll be fine in the neighborhood, man. They are each other's own bullies. Like, they only bully each other, but they don't let anybody outside of their house in that neighborhood bully them. There's a moment where the main character, the girl Troy, I think Spike Lee and the other glue sniffer, they take the little brother's money, the youngest brother. They take his money. She comes around the corner with a broomstick and hits Spike Lee upside his head with it and busts his shit open, and his head's bleeding and all that type of shit. Like, they rock out for each other. There's a moment where they have to split up candy amongst each other because one person had money to go to the store, or there's a moment where two brothers want to watch the Knicks game, and then the sister and the other two brothers want to watch the Partridge Family. So he's like, all right, if you don't tell mom, I'll let you watch whatever you want to watch. And then they all start singing, I Woke Up and Loved This Morning, Partridge Family shit, even though some of the siblings didn't want to watch it. Like, it's just too many relatable moments in this shit, man. And this is people gonna look at me crazy when I say that, when I want to say this might be Spike Lee's best work on screen as far as something relatable, but it just might be. It might be, man. And it's a great period piece. It takes place in the 70s. So yeah, this shit, cast is crazy. Cast is fire. And man, this cast is insane.
Isaiah Washington, RuPaul, Patrice Nelson, Jose Zuniga, Tanisha Ray.
RuPaul, man. RuPaul is
Friend.
in one scene, and RuPaul is singing and dancing with the Poppy Store owner. He's singing "I'll Never Go Back to Georgia," and it's just a random moment with RuPaul singing, and then they do it in slow motion, and it doesn't even need to be there, but it's one of the most memorable parts of the movie. When people are online saying "I'll never go back to Georgia," they know they talking about the RuPaul shit. And damn, I forgot Vondi Curtis Hall was in here.
Bokeem Woodbine.
Yeah, he doesn't get a whole lot to do. He's one of the older friends of the kids that sits on the stoop with the older guys that hang out on their stoop, and they like play cards, and they play like Rock'em Sock'em Robots and shit. They play games out there with them. But Bokeem Woodbine should have been in it a lot more. But you recognize him when you see him. Isaiah Washington's great in the movie. He's got like this Spanish girlfriend who's a pain in the fucking ass. But I understand why she's a pain in the ass, because their whole building, they lose power one day, and they're talking to Delroy Lindo, and he's like, well, I got some candles for y'all, and he's like, the girlfriend's like, candles? Like, I pay y'all rent for a fucking reason. I want fucking candles. So I get why she's a pain in the ass, but the movie's so fucking good, man. It's sad as shit though, super sad, but it's got like a through the loss that they experience as a family, it's got like a pretty uplifting ending that kind of makes you feel like they're going to be all right. We don't need a Crooklyn 2, but yeah, that's my number one, man. I think I might do that one for February. Huh?
Didn't they make a Crooklyn 2?
I hope not. Let me look it up, because I hope you fucking with me. No, they didn't. I will DM Spike Lee several times. He'll never respond. He never does anyway. Spike Lee doesn't even look at the tags.
He's pissed off that the Knicks suck, bro. So
Yeah, that's one way to get his attention. I'll just DM him like, yo, the Knicks is trash, bro.
He'll talk shit. Yeah, definitely, dude. Motherfucker like on Twitter saying Knicks are trash, bro, and he'll fucking tweet right back. So do that.
I mean, honestly, I would be lying though, because the Knicks was balling this past season. I don't know what they're gonna do this season, but last season I was definitely like, them boys is coming for what's theirs. They flopped though, but
they got further than a lot of people thought they would, though.
They did. Can't hate on that. I mean, we'll see. We shall see. I'm not doing my predictions just yet, man.
Yeah.
Not yet. I know better.
Yeah, 2 months. All right, number one.
That's my number one, bro.
My number one is an obvious one, and it is Sleepaway Camp.
Ooh. Horror. Sleepaway Sleepaway Camp, man.
I
That's
had
a
to
good one.
put this one on here because I honestly feel like this is like the only horror movie that I can think of or that I've seen that actually puts the camp goers and the employees all at risk. Like everyone is at risk in this movie. And that's
That's
something
true.
that you don't really see in a whole lot of camp horror movies. Like it's either the counselors that are opening the camp that get slaughtered, but it's never while the camp is open. You know, it's so that's one of the things that I really do appreciate about this movie, that everyone's in danger from the get go,
Yeah.
and they don't fuck around. And that ending is that ending is arguably one of the best endings to a horror movie. I remember watching that movie on IFC like at 1 a.m, and I had caught it like in the middle, and then I went to sleep, and I woke up and I saw that fucking green filter with that. I was like,
Shit.
yeah, what the fuck was that? And that scared the shit out of me. Uh,
So did you have the ending spoiled for you, or the first time you saw this, did you go into it like
no,
blind?
the ending wasn't spoiled for me. I saw this movie when I was a kid. I remember seeing it like when I was 8, 9 years old, but I've only remember seeing that that particular scene, that ending, because my stepdad was watching it, and I just remember, oh, that's a boy, and then like I looked, and I just saw I saw Felicia's rose face and shit like that, and that shit scarred me. And I remember as like a teenager
Oh,
telling
man.
everyone that I know about this horror movie that I don't know the name of, and then finally I found someone that knew the names. Oh yeah, it's called Sleepaway Camp, and then it was on IFC one night, and then I watched it, and I was like, holy shit, this movie's bonkers.
Wow. Yeah. I I had the ending spoiled for me because I saw that that documentary, that slasher documentary, Going to Pieces, the rise and fall of the slasher film, and Felissa Rose was they were interviewing her, asking her about the movie, and I remember at the end of her segment or whatever it was, she was like, "Oh," she was like, "I was the chick." She said she didn't know that she was playing the chick with the dick, and she said that had to get like a they had to get a guy actor to just to get I think they got him fucked up. She said, yeah, they got him completely wasted and
Yeah,
they just had him pose nude, and I think they did like a mold cast of her head and put it on his. But that, like, even still, when I watched it for the first time and I'm leading up to it, I'm like, I know what's going to happen, but I still wasn't ready for it.
yeah.
Like, even though I knew it was coming at the end of the movie, I'm just like, this shit is. You can never remake Sleepaway Camp. I don't give a fuck who does it. I don't care what type of spin you put on it. That ending alone, there's nothing you could do that'll really top that
Well,
shit.
you know
To
what?
be
Also,
honest.
too, that you couldn't remake that ending because people would say that it's hateful. It's like, oh, you're painting trans people as bad people. You know what I
Fucking
mean?
cancel
Like
culture at
it's
its
just like that.
finest.
You wouldn't be able to have that same ending because people would be saying, "Oh, it's transphobic." Like, and it's fucking crazy because it's not what the movie is about, and it's not what it's saying. You know what I mean? It's just an interesting twist about some twisted chick that just like twisted aunt that fucked up their kids.
Okay, so I was about to say, was it the mom or was it like another relative? It was it was the aunt,
Yeah,
the aunt, however you pronounce it. But she was the real villain, fucked up individual, yo. For her to even do that to that person
yeah.
was fucked up. And then I was feeling bad for the guy that kept hitting on Angela because I'm like, yo, you have no idea, bro. It's fucked up. It was the crying game all over again.
You're
Well, this came
right.
out first.
Yeah,
I think Sleepaway Camp came out first, and then the crying game came out in like the 90s or something like
yeah.
that. Oh,
90,
Jesus.
93, 94, something like that. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not even gonna say, I'm not gonna say nothing.
What? No,
I'm not.
say it now. Say it
You
now.
know,
Say it.
Deadpool. Deadpool was like, you remember when he was telling Wesley Snipes, he was like, I'm already in the void. I'm not trying to get canceled. I was going to, no, what I was going to say was, even though they didn't have any like love scenes, was this how, what's this motherfucker's name? Let me make sure I got his name right. Before I even say anything, let me make sure I got the name right. But I just wondering how he felt when he failed. Jesus. Sean Roberts. No, that's not him. That's not him either. It's this motherfucker's name. What is his name?
Paul?
Did Daddy? What does he do? Shawn Ashmore. They didn't have any love scenes in X-Men, but I wonder, as close as his character was
Oh,
getting, was the Shawn Ashmore's reaction? Like, you know how like the guy's reaction was in the Crying Game. Did Shawn Ashmore have that reaction when we got the news of Elliot Page? Is what I wanted to know.
no, because
That's it.
that was after. That was before. I was way before. So
That's
I don't think that counts.
Inquiring minds want to know, bro. And I'm not even trying to be disrespectful, people. Before we get that one person who sees the episode and it's like, dude, you're transphobic. We're coming after you.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. Like, for God's sakes, man. I remember I did they and them commentary for Pride Month. I'm like, I'm not going to exclude the community for Pride Month. No, I gave y'all commentary for they and them, and I regret that shit because that movie sucked. And I wanted that movie to be. I wanted it to be great. I wanted it to be great. I was really rooting for that movie. I said, I don't care about the subject material. I think this could be
Yeah.
something. And they
It
dropped
could
the
have been.
ball with they.
Yeah, we talked about that movie at length, and we were just like, man, I think we were both on the same page. Like, there was so much you could have done there, and yet you opted to go the
Yeah,
safest route. Like, what? No.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, that's my number
It,
one movie, Sleepaway Camp. I think it's one of the best summer movies out there. Has the best line of any movie uttered by Ricky: "Eat shit and live." It's probably arguably one of the best lines in any movie history.
said eat shit and live.
That's
God
my number
damn.
one.
Who did
What's your number one?
he say that to?
He said that to Bill, one of the counselors.
He said eat shit and live. It's a tough break. Oh, they did three more sleepaway camps? I thought they did two.
They did two with Pamela Springsteen, and then they went back and did like three more with Felissa Rose, which
Return to Sleepaway Camp, The Survivor, and Return to Sleepaway Camp. What?
Return to Sleepaway Camp was supposed to be a direct sequel to Sleepaway Camp. Like,
Yeah, I remember they were promoting that on upcominghorrormovies.com years ago, like in the 2000s, and Nelly was attached to the project at one point in time.
what?
Promise you. This was in the early 2000s, like when upcominghorrormovies.com first was popping, because I remember this is when they first announced that Candyman 4 was in development. They announced that a new Evil Dead movie was in development. I think they were talking about how Halloween Resurrection was in development. Um, it was a movie coming out called Stray Dogs. Ice Cube was supposed to be in it. It was a werewolf movie called Stray Dogs they were trying to make. And then all these movies just started going into development hell category. And then they just were in the dead projects category at some point. Pretty fucked up. Yeah, Nelly was attached to it, man.
Gotta love the 2000s, bro.
I mean, yeah, that was the thing. Which rapper can we get in this? You know, everybody saw LL and H2O and was like, this could be something, man. Like, let's get all these rappers in these movies. I mean, and they also saw Ice Cube and Anaconda. So the 2000s, they just took off with that shit. It was a mess. Sometimes it was okay.
Yeah, I don't think any
Damn.
time was okay.
I mean,
Unless it was
I,
LL Cool J, then maybe. Then maybe. Or
I
Queen
like L Cool J
Latifah.
in horror movies. I like Ice Cube in horror movies. I love Queen Latifah in horror movies. She was great in Bone Collector, Sphere. They did her dirty.
Yeah.
I can appreciate Rod Digger in 13 Ghosts. I just hate that they played her song at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Like that
Talk about
mirror
fucking
on the wall shit.
what's that oh my god. Promotion. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Um, they put your boy Sticky Fingers in House of the Dead 2. I'm like, all right, now we're getting out of hand at this fucking
Sticky
remake.
Fingers
This is
was
ridiculous.
Blade at one point. Like, what the fuck? Which I still can't believe. That's still crazy to me.
Yeah,
Who thought who
who
thought
gave the
that was
green
a
light?
good idea?
Exactly, exactly.
We need to talk to
Yeah,
that guy.
it's a yeah. That shit is on Tubi too, bro. The whole season, however many seasons it was, it's on Tubi because I remember one day I was like, this can't be as bad as I think it is, right? And
Got
it's a lot
worse.
of blood, but it's terrible. Yeah, it's worse. It's awful.
It's worse. All right, what's your number one?
Uh, it was Crooklyn.
Was it? Was that that was it? Really?
Yeah,
That was number one? Oh, and Shrek.
yeah. I went Sandlot. I Still Know, Adam's Family, Goonies, Crooklyn.
Okay, my bad. I miscounted.
You got honorable mentions at all?
Point Break. I got Point Break,
Ooh.
obviously. Endless Summer 2, surf, a surfer movie. Jason Lives.
Mm,
And,
damn, I feel bad
uh,
now.
and The Burning. Oh,
The
and
Burning,
Nightbreed. And
The
Nightbreed.
Burning is so underrated, man. And The Burning is one of those movies where it's just like you said, nobody's safe.
Yeah.
Kids ain't safe. The adults ain't safe. And first of all, I ain't saying them kids deserved it, but them kids kind of had it coming. They fucked
They were
Cropsy
dicks.
up.
They were dicks.
Yeah, they fucked Cropsy up. That was so bad. You think they could ever? Would you ever want to see a remake of The Burning?
No. No, because I don't think I don't think you do it right. I don't think you
I
would.
think.
Because the thing about The Burning is that it was balls to the wall filmmaking in the sense that anything goes. You know what I mean? It was sleazy, it was dirty, it was gritty, it was
Yeah, it
raw.
was.
It's so it was there's something about that kind of filmmaking that just doesn't exist anymore that you can make that kind of film anymore. You know what I mean? Because now everyone's gonna be like, oh hey man, like safety and all this, like which I get, I understand, but back then it was the wild wild west, and that's why we get movies like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And if you do a
they would have.
remake now, it's gonna be much more into the Cropsy legend rather than trying to be its own thing. You know what I mean?
Into the Cropsy legend. I think at one point in time, this was probably years back when I first started the show, I was writing down who I would want to direct these slasher remakes, and I feel like I said I wanted the House of Wax director to do a Burning remake. I really want to say it was him. I can't remember. Jamie or Jome Colette Sarah, but I don't know. You said they would dig more into the legend of fucking Crops.
They would.
They would over explain
Yeah.
it.
Let's see this. The guy that did House of Wax, he did Run All Night, the Communer, Unknown.
He did
Oh, he did the first
Black
Orphan.
Adam.
He did
Run
Orphan.
On Night. Did he?
He did Orphan, the first one.
Oh, I can't stand that bullshit.
The Shallows.
Oh, he did.
Non-stop.
Yeah, I like Shallows. Shallows was solid.
And Jungle Cruise.
He did junk. No wonder he likes working with The Rock. He likes working with The Rock. He did Jungle Cruise and Black Adam.
I don't know, man. I feel like he likes working with Liam Neeson because he has like fucking 4 Liam Neeson movies on here.
Yo, Run All Night is my shit, man. I watched Run All Night like I think 2 weeks ago, and it is exactly what it's supposed to be. And I love that Liam Neeson. He was just a hired hand back in the day. He didn't have a particular set of skills. He doesn't know kung fu. No, he's just I'm running and gunning and I'm trying to save my son and his family. But he ain't shit. Like he's such a piece of shit dad and a piece of shit friend. But have you seen Run All Night?
No, you recommended this to me a while back, and it's on Hulu right now, so I might watch this later tonight.
It's a pretty solid, like straightforward thriller, yo. Like basically, like Ed Harris and Liam Neeson are old friends. They used to run together. They both got sons on different walks of life. Ed Harris' son is a piece of shit, fuck up criminal. Liam Neeson's son, Joel Kinnaman, is just like he's like a limo driver, straight laced family guy. So Liam Neeson's son sees Ed Harris' son murder somebody, and he's trying to tell him like, "Yo, it's me, man. Like, remember we grew up together?" And he tries to defend himself. Now he's on the run because Liam Neeson kills Ed Harris' son, and that's literally how it starts. Like, he's like, "Look, man, I had to take your son out," and Ed Harris is like, "Fuck what you talking about? Like, I hear you, but you killed my son, so now I'm gonna take your boy. I'm not even gonna kill you. I'm gonna make you suffer the same way me and my wife are suffering," and it's just on after that. Common's in that shit.
You got Vincent D'Onofrio,
Yep.
Boyd Holbrook, Common,
Yep.
Nolte,
Yep.
Malcolm Goodwin, who's in Reacher, and it was really great. Paul McConnelly, Bruce McGill. Yeah, there's some really good character actors in this movie, dude.
Yeah, that shit's solid, yo. I know. I don't think it did well at the box office, but and I'm not even a big Liam Neeson fan. If it ain't Darkman or Star Wars or some shit, I'm like, all right, whatever. But this might be next to Darkman my favorite Liam Neeson movie. I love this shit because it ain't nothing too fancy and well choreographed. Like, no, we got to get the fuck up out of here. And Ed Harris has everybody in his pocket. The goons in the city are after him. Common plays a hitman that's after him. He's got cops in his pocket. So they literally, it's one of those movies like kind of like how Judgment Night was, where it's like, yo, we keep running into dead ends, man. Like we really got to scratch and survive to make it out of this fucking situation. Like I love shit like that. Judgment Night, Black and Blue. What's another movie that's kind of run and gun back against the wall? Running Scared is another one. That shit, God damn. Running Scared is fucking crazy. That shit should have been an anime instead of a fucking live action movie. That shit should have been a fucking anime, bro. That shit, Running Scared. I remember the first time I saw it, I'm like, this movie is insane. This movie gives no fucks at all.
Yeah,
crazy shit.
The twists and turns that movie takes, bro, is just what the fuck. Such a good movie.
Shit was getting dark, man. When Vera Farmiga is looking for Oleg, and she goes into that apartment and finds those tapes and them outfits. That shit, I was like,
it
damn.
Puts two in their head, dude. Like, oh shit. Yep. Justified.
That shit was dark. Yeah, of course. Yeah, hell yeah, it was justified. Cause fuck them people. And the dude, he thought that she was going to call the cops. He's like, yeah, we're sick fucks and we need to be arrested. Go ahead and call the cops. No, you need to be in the dirt, motherfucker.
I love when she calls 911, says, I need an ambulance at this address, and then boom, boom.
Yep. Fuck both of y'all. And I agree 200%. Vera Farmiga was a badass in that movie. I love that she was a mom, but she was a vigilante where need be. And she still called Paul Walker to curse him out, like, bring my son home, motherfucker. Love her in that movie. She said, is he around you? Well, watch your mouth around him and bring my son home. Like, yes. That's the stuff wives are made of, for sure.
Stuff of ride or dies, man.
Yeah, she's fucking great in that movie.
I put that on the watch list. That's on the watch list right now. So I'm gonna try to watch that tonight.
Oh, I had Salute Your Shorts. It's not even a movie, but I had Salute Your Shorts as an honorable mention for summer shit. I still think they should do a movie. They should do a movie based on Salute Your Shorts. Camp Anawana. Do you remember that show?
No. Was that a Nickelodeon show?
Yes, it was. Camp Anawana, bruh. That was my shit, man.
This was okay, yeah. This was on Snick.
Camp Anawana, bruh. Camp Anawana. Budnick, I almost said Pugsley, but Budnick, Sponge, Telly, Pinsky, Dina, Donkey Lips. Like I remember all of the ZZ, all of those characters, Dr. Khan, Ugg, like all those characters, man. They were. I don't know how many seasons they got,
Two.
but they had so many. Like there were episodes where the kids snuck out of camp. I remember they snuck out of the camp to go to the movies or some shit like that. That show was crazy, man. That was like probably my favorite show on Nickelodeon back in the day. Yeah, they should make a
This
they should make a
show might be lost
R-rated
media
version.
because it's never been released
Like
on DVD.
like on yeah, and it's fucked
That's
up too,
crazy.
man, because the cast members they get together a lot and they do like conventions and like group interviews and shit like that. They reminisce, but that's crazy. They never released it. That was a hit for the 2 seconds it was on Nickelodeon. It seemed like it lasted forever, probably because they just showed a bunch of
Okay,
reruns at some point in
so here we
time.
go. As of 2022, Amazon has 12 episodes of the show available for online purchase. iTunes, Paramount Plus offer 10 of those same episodes. So there's like 16 episodes missing.
God damn. Yeah,
Because there's a total
they didn't do all that.
of 26 episodes of 2 seasons, and both episodes were running about 13 episodes, not including the pilot.
It's fucked up. They deserved better. This was my shit, man. They even had a horror episode with they made up their own character, like their own campfire story guy named Zeke the Plumber. That shit used to scare the fuck out of me as a kid. I'm not even gonna lie. Zeke the Plumber was definitely nightmare fuel back in the day.
Zeke the Plumber.
Yep.
Was that a fucking Halloween episode?
I don't know if it was a Halloween episode or just their horror episode, but Zeke the Plumber, he walk around with this plunger, and like there was a moment where I think somebody was having a nightmare about him, and he was like sticking the plunger towards the camera, and the kids screaming and shit. Like, yeah, Zeke the Plumber. That episode was wild. It was wild. Characters were falling in love and
Oh
shit.
my god.
What happened?
This motherfucker looks like the dude from Tourist Trap.
He does. Never even seen Tourist Trap before, but I know exactly what you're talking about. The horror movie. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Dude looks
Maybe
exactly
that's where they
like
got
him.
it from. Which came out first?
Tourist Trap. Tourist Trap came out in the 70s.
Damn. Yeah, they might have stole a little bit off.
The flannel, the mask, the hair.
Zeke the Plumber, man. No joke. Linnea Quigley was in Tourist Trap?
Yeah,
I
not
know
in
she
it for very long. Not in it for very long, I'll tell you that right now.
She gets naked, doesn't she?
No. Actually, it's a PG-13 movie, so she doesn't even show anything. No, it's a PG movie.
I am shocked. Okay, so this is probably the one fucking movie that Linnea Quigley doesn't get naked in.
She does go into a pond, but you don't see anything.
Okay, so she got naked, they just didn't show it on screen.
Yeah.
Still counts. So she got naked, and she's naked in every movie she's in, man. That's another one. I would love to interview Linnea Quigley and just be like, you are just one of the most free-spirited horror queens ever. Amazing. She helped a lot of people through puberty.
That's why
time.
she got hired for a graduation day, because one of the actresses didn't want to do nude scenes, and she's like, "Yeah, I'll show my tits. Let's go." And then they replaced that actress with Linnea Quigley.
She was in the woods. She was making out with the guy in the woods, and her shirt was unbuttoned. I forgot she was in fucking Graduation Day,
which is actually kind of a solid movie.
Yeah, I remember. I think it was on YouTube at one point in time. It was either on YouTube or it was on Tubi. And I remember going back and watching it. And I was like, for 80s slash, like it falls into underrated 80s slasher territory. It wasn't bad. The kills are pretty creative in there. Like, I'm not gonna lie, when that dude pole vaults onto a bed of spikes.
Yeah, that was crazy. That's on some Final Destination shit right there.
The one dude I was laughing at, though, the dude that's like, give me my goddamn ball. Give me my ball. Give me my ball. He's asking like for 10 minutes flat, and then the killer is just putting a fucking spike onto it and just throws this shit into his stomach. Why would you wait for that? Like, why?
He was trying to get his ball, dude.
Fuck that. Like, and I don't know if the killer was masked up or if he recognized him unmasked. I don't know.
No, he wasn't masked. He wasn't masked. Because remember at the end they have a kung fu fight with the gym teacher in the orchards?
That shit didn't age well at all.
Like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, that
would be my only problem with that movie is that kung fu fight at the end. I'm like, and then the movie ends twice.
Those 80s slashers always did shit that just didn't fucking make sense.
The Prowler is a fucking big offender of that. Like, I'm like, why do you have to end it that way? You never seen that?
Never even made it. That movie was boring the fuck out of me. I'm not gonna lie.
Really?
Like when I turned it on, I was like, oh shit, we about to get a period piece, and then I think they flash forward years later. I don't remember, but I was so bored, and I just turned it off. I never finished it.
Oh,
Guilty
man.
Guilty as fuck.
So watch that. That's actually pretty funny. That's actually a really good movie. All right, so we're gonna have to end the stream here, ladies and gentlemen. It was really great talking about our summer movies. Great talking about The Crow, because I'm glad I'm not the only one that felt the same way about the beginning. So that was cool.
Yeah, man, you gotta like snippet the shit that we said about The Crow, man. Like it was.
No, that's gonna be its own video. It's gonna be its own video. I'm gonna try to upload this shit on Saturday and try to get them all out there.
Yeah, and you have to see Wicked Prayer after we done had this conversation about The Crow, bro. You have to see how I feel like you're gonna go back and be like, okay, that 2024 version, maybe I was a little harsh on it. I'm telling you, the moment you see Macy Gray and Dennis Hopper towards the end of the movie, game changer for all the wrong reasons. I promise. Yeah. Telling you, bro, it's bad. Like it's all bad.
So
they didn't give a fuck.
Our next stream will probably be on the 10th. Would that work?
10th?
Yeah.
Mark it down.
September 10th.
Mark it down.
And then the following would be the 24th.
What do you want to do for the? I mean, we don't have to figure it out now. Got any ideas for the 10th? I'm trying to think of something. I got a bunch in the book I can just like send you like and see if you fuck with those or not.
You could do back to school movies.
We could do those. That's what I'm gonna be doing all September. Actually, like that's all my like. I'm doing like Dead Poets Society, a whole bunch of back to school shit. I can't remember which horror ones I put on there. I think I put Cooties on there.
Substitute 187.
Did I put the subs? I don't remember. I'm not even about to untack all of this shit. I did 187. I did 187 last September. That's a horror movie, man. That is Samuel L. Jackson. It is if Crazy Joe from Lean on Me was a serial killer. That's exactly what that shit is. That movie's fucked up, man.
Yeah, we could do back to school, or we can do something else. But yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll hammer that one out probably sometime this weekend or next week, and then we'll just go.
Yeah,
We'll just
I'll send you some like if I see anything that's worth doing on like in the book I got, I'll send you some shit. I'll swing some shit your way this week. But if
okay.
not, yeah, we can do the back to school shit.
All right, sounds good. Good. All right, people. We will see you in a couple weeks. And until then, stay safe. Have a you know. Hopefully, you have a good summer, good school semester, and yeah, yeah, enjoy
Yeah, all of that good shit.
all that good shit. And don't watch The Crow. Whatever you do, don't watch that. Save your money.
All right,
You're okay. You're
Alex.
not missing anything.
God damn.
You're not missing anything.
You can just listen to our review and make a decision. But
Yeah,
Johnny,
yeah.
basically, Johnny's is doing his best Alex Proyas right now. Said, fuck
Hey, you know
this
what?
shit.
My shit's justified. At least I sat through it the hour and a half. That motherfucker didn't even bother to go see it. So there is a
Yeah,
difference.
that's true.
There is a
That's
difference
true.
there. I have valid criticisms. He's just being a hater. Let's just be real.
Yeah, Alex Proyas is on some bullshit for that.
Yeah, yeah. And all our links to our podcast, our TikToks, Instagrams, our social medias down below in the description when you see this on YouTube. And we will see you in a few weeks. Till then, good night. Stay safe.